Look.
So, hello.
Yay.
Welcome to a wonderful episode of Shelby's World.
What
It
the-
is Wednesday, March 4th. Y'all know I have an issue with remembering the date, so Queen always be there to remind me of where we are. How y'all doing today, ladies?
I'm good. Yes. I see all of us, all we all in here smiling today.
Can you say winning?
What? Winning. That W winning. All day today. What's going on?
That's
there?
right. It's good to see everybody. You know, it's another week. It's our first week of March. It's a wonderful month. It is. Today we have, along with Queen Candace and myself, we have a wonderful guest.
Hey.
Oh, why you acting like that?
I'm not.
Not
I'm
today.
not play with her.
Not today, honey.
Who are we today? Who are we? Who are we today?
That's funny. Today I am, as always, a mother, a woman, a black woman, blessed. I am Lashaundra of Blue Lotus Counseling and Holistic Wellness. Thank you, ladies, for having me today.
You're welcome.
So,
Well, we
She's
are
bomb.
happy.
She's a bomb.
Yes, we are definitely happy to have Lasandra here with us today. She is a wonderful, wonderful asset to our urban community.
no, thank you.
So we are very excited to have her in the building.
Thank you.
Good.
Yes. And today y'all are in our new location, Queen.
Yes.
Tell us about this location,
It's
Queen.
over here at 327 Office Plaza Drive, off of Magnolia, right behind the Ford dealership. Krispy Kreme is right up the street as well. But yes, we're in a new location. I'm gonna go live maybe one day next week. I'm just too busy this week to even go live, but y'all check me out. Stay tuned. We got a lot of things coming for you in this year. I told y'all 2020 we had, and it's all about the queens.
It's a Queen
All that
movement, y'all.
queens movement over here. So, go support the next queen. Post them, do all that good stuff. Look, stop being right here. Post a queen. Let a queen know how you feel about that you admire her and what she's doing and what she got going on.
That's right.
It's about positive stuff and just supporting each other. But I'm happy to be in my new place. I like it.
Congratulations.
I love it. It's
Thank
a wonderful
you.
location,
Thank
Queen.
you. So, hey, let's
Good
get hey. What's the next one? Look, this weekend, y'all better get ready. Because this weekend, the first weekend in March, we told y'all that it was going to be a good one.
Yes.
It's a good one. The live podcast show on Saturday, man, look, we already just sold it out.
I got my ticket.
Joe added what?
Hey.
10 more
We
tickets,
gone.
and they gone.
Yeah.
So hey, if you ain't get yours, you just gotta wait till this one.
But we are definitely looking forward to that. We're going to have a good time, some
I'm
good
ready.
performers. Our panel will be good. We're going to have some questions and answer time from the audience. So we're looking forward to that, y'all. So if you didn't get a ticket, know that you can tune in and catch some of us on some of the live. I'm sure some people will be going live. But we'll also have the video available on freedomtrainmedia.com.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So excited about that.
Definitely. Well, we're going to get started with the show today because, of course, we always have a wonderful show when we have a guest. Not saying that it's never wonderful. We keep it pushing, but we got us a guest today, so we're going to go ahead and get started and talk to her about some of the wonderful things she has going on. But we're going to do our quote of the day, and there is no Negro problem. The problem is whether the American people have loyalty enough, honor enough, patriotism enough to live up to their own constitution. Frederick Douglass. That's so deep down. I love that. It's going on. Okay. There is no Negro problem. The problem is whether the American people have loyalty enough, honor enough, patriotism enough to live up to their own constitution. Great. Frederick Douglass. And I don't know if y'all know what that means, but I'm going to let the ladies both kind of give a little bit of an opinion of what they think that means, and then, we'll come to me. But Queen, what you think that means?
So, it's talking when it's talking. So, y'all know I love us, and that's why I primarily focus on providing services for us in regards to mental health. But all the times when we see a problem, we assume that it's our problem. We assume that we're the creation or we're the creators of this very problem that we have. When in reality, it's the society we live in. It's this um, these systematic barriers that are in place, and the system is designed to basically keep us where we are, and until for us to expect, and so this is my personal thought, for us to expect them to change, that is our problem. And so for us to expect them to honor the Constitution that they have in place, and again, this is my personal belief, that is our problem. And that's why we have to begin to create our spaces. We have to begin to create our jobs. We have to begin to understand what happiness means to us, what systems work for us, and all of that. But as it's not our problem, it's up to the America as a whole to rectify these systems that they have in place. But again, the systems were created to keep us oppressed, and they're active and they're working. So,
when we created the Constitution, we weren't thinking about us anyway.
so
So it's like we really wasn't in the plan of when they was created the Constitution. So I agree with Chandra on that.
Even though the Constitution is man, we were never considered humanized people.
Yeah.
So I definitely agree with Shonda, but I know where he's going, and I think a lot of times that we get caught up in where the person is going instead of where we are now.
Yeah.
And this the quote is excellent because it if you're looking at us as a human people as we are, this does apply to us. It does apply to the whole American culture as a whole. But because we know that we've never been considered completely American people, because they still got to put African in front of our name, and none of us didn't even touch Africa, but the land of. Well, but you know,
well, we don't really know if we actually from it.
Right. It's just a thing. It's just what people throw out there. And so, with that being said, it's just this the statement is wonderful. The quote is great. It if we get caught up in wanting to have the same rights and be included, knowing that we are excluded, we're gonna continue to be a suppressed people. I definitely agree with that. But as far as I was listening to, this brings me to kind of a point that I was thinking about earlier. I was listening to the Freedom Friends podcast with Joe and Pat yesterday, and they were talking about the fact that they were talking about I was listening from the screen where Pat was actually talking about why voting does matter regardless of where we are because politics are in every category of our lives. That was that. So I took that. And I'm gonna focus on that a little bit more when we talk about both. But listening to Joe's podcast, he was talking about the fact that we could never actually come together and do anything collectively, which is why or how we would never be a unionized people if we don't come together. And not saying that we could never do it, but he said we've not done it yet. So and we don't have enough allies as a black culture with other countries and things of like that to even try to be our own people, our own country, or our own land. We don't have the resources because of the fact that we don't come together. So if go ahead.
No, I think that that's a myth that we have to stop playing into, this idea that we don't come together.
No, because we do.
Right.
No. But it has to be enough.
Right. And so with this idea, we do come together. We have to focus on those pockets of us that do come together and build from there. So it's like if I clean up, say I got a 4-bedroom, 3 baths. If I clean 3 rooms and 2 bathrooms, but I don't clean the 1 room and the 1 bathroom, do I focus on the one bathroom and the one room that I clean, or
So
do
you
I
focus
focus
on
on
the
the
ones that are taken care of.
right? So
Yeah.
when we look at it's
That's a good
perception,
analogy.
you know, is big
It's
too.
everything.
So we do come together, we do support, we do
We too big of a culture for everybody to see it at one time, though. That's like you just because it may be going on in this community and not happening in this community doesn't mean it's not happening. I say that too. Like another thing is like Black History Month should be taken away as a whole. I don't care about how nobody feel about the history or the lack of it. If you take away something that was meant to be a teaching, what are you filling the void with?
right.
You know what I'm saying? So like I think that we just get so caught up in what other people are thinking about us as a race,
Right.
and that we can't.
Right.
us
And
as a
even
race.
with that, for something like that, have Black History Month, but we have Black History Month every year, but that does not stop me as a parent, as
From
a
teaching our
right, from teaching my children, from educating others. So we can't let what's in place stop us from or limit us from going outside of that.
right. I feel that.
That's correct.
So thank y'all. That's our quote of the day. Frederick Douglass. It was good. Our fact of the day is population growth. The population of the United States in 1870 was 4.8 million people, and then in 2018 it grew to 43.8 million people. That's a lot of people.
That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of people to control.
From 4.
What do you think about that? What y'all think about the fact of the day? Do you think that our population? Do y'all think that our population has taken over? Cause cause that's 2018. So it's 2 years ago. That's 2 years ago, and that's 43.8 million. And that has to be more than
We're still a minority.
in the whole United States. We're still minority.
Wow.
I can't believe that. That's really weird. But
But you Wisconsin, Kansas, or
Oh yeah.
But that's where they mostly are.
Nebraska, all those different places.
I thought that they were worried about being able to keep growing as a nation.
well, and again, we can't worry about that. We gotta worry about us. But no, we at this time, if we continue to
worry about them. We got to be worried about us.
Production
That's
rate is at an
true.
all-time high.
and if we continue to reproduce at the
Latinos,
numbers
they
that we
behind.
are, we will. We
The
will.
Latinos,
Yeah, they coming strong now. They coming strong.
that's still a minority.
hmm But and we'll talk about this, but it just made me think. What are your thoughts behind that about us? About our numbers growing and eventually being the majority.
Oh, what are my thoughts about it?
Mm-hmm. Or I'm sure you have some thoughts because you brought it up. So.
Let's talk about that.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, we'll talk about that.
Okay.
So hey y'all, we back.
We get a little.
Yeah. Switch sides a little bit. So we're gonna go ahead and talk about our topics of the challenge. I know a lot of us as a black people and as a black culture aren't very big on voting, but a lot of us are very big on voting. So I want to kind of get y'all opinion on voting. Like, what do you all think as far as us voting as a people? How does it help or hinder us? We're gonna start off with our guest.
Okay. So, we all learned about the voting system and the process, and so collegiate vote, vote and how it plays a role. And I vote more so not for the presidential voting, but for the local
Yes, that's
purposes. So my vote counts locally. That I can see, that I know. And my local vote has an impact on me. It has an impact on my children. It has an impact on my community. It has an impact on my business, my clients. So everything around me. So because of the local obligation that I have, now as it as we go into as it expands and you talk about presidential, and I still vote, but I have different expectations.
Right, and can like as a let me kind of evolve on that. What's the word when you want to add a little to that?
You can
Can you
evolve.
evolve? Let me let you evolve on that. Explain a little more as to why the presidential term isn't as specific to what you have going on in your daily life as your local election is.
So I'm not a politician. I don't know why she asking me these questions, but let's run it. But
let's go.
like locally, well, actually locally, I know a few of the politicians I've seen where we elected people who look like us, people who live like us, and the impact they've had. I've also seen the impact for those who are against us. They have got into local offices and how it has impacted us. So, as far as the presidential election goes, I mean, the last presidential election for me was an extremely good example of. I remember feeling like, well, dang, I thought my vote mattered when in reality I thought majority mattered, but when you looked at the numbers, it didn't. So, but
That's kind of the electoral.
right, right.
They need to get rid of that.
So
Yeah, that electoral vote is.
that's what it's called. I couldn't think of the name.
The
I
electoral
couldn't think
vote.
of the name.
You got to lead you. Yeah. We ain't gonna do that, but we know what you meant.
It's not my bad, y'all. Y'all can talk about me. I don't even care.
The electoral vote. That's what she was saying, y'all. That's what she did. But y'all got what she said.
Mm-hmm. I think that make a lot of sense, Sean. Our community and the things that are going on around us have a way bigger impact on us than what's going on over in what's going on in Tallahassee got more to do to me than what's going on in that. Even though that is not too far away, but that the impact of my community is more it's circulatory to me. Like I can see it. I can see the damage. I can see the help we need to do. The work we need to be that has to be done. It's definitely more important to stay involved in your local election. Yeah. Even if we say y'all not to vote for the president, I'm not gonna ever say that. But I do think that you need to make sure you're showing up for these votes because your children matter. Your children should matter. I know education,
the jobs, the funding, the resources. It's so much that's tied to it. So, and it's easy because I've felt discouraged when it comes to voting, but just that reminder that locally it has a drastic impact, and so I don't want to be the one to come. And I haven't at least attempted to do my part, and that's the other reason. Let me go vote. So when I talk my trash,
I gotta read.
Yes.
Right. Because like honestly, I talked to a lot of people who said they voted and they just outright lied about it. Because you talk so much when they in the midst of certain things, and later on it's like, oh, I really didn't vote though.
See, that's a problem.
Yeah, I mean, don't you're slandering too much. I ain't had nothing to say about Trump. I'm gonna be honest with you. I haven't had a conversation about that. I ain't vote for him. I ain't vote for the other person against him. I wasn't focused on that. I knew what I needed to vote for. I'm not a person that believes in the lesser of two evils. No, whatever. I don't care about that. That's not my business. But who the mayor is, you know what I'm saying? So those are things. Exactly. Those are the things that matter to me. And whatever matters to y'all in the voting process, make it matter that you can go out there and do it.
And if it doesn't matter to you, is it something that matters to your grandmother? Right. And grandma, what my grandma got to do with voting, healthcare? Is it something that matters to your child? We're talking about schools and funding. Is it something that matters to your community? You talk about like victim advocates, resources and things of that matter. So,
actually, I put out there to help the people in your community. We're always talking about that homeless people and people lower income have mental health issues, but we're not willing to go out there and vote to see how they can get those issues handled or resolved and put the people like Chandra in place for stuff like that. Like we have the people. Mm-hmm. We now have a community full of holistic healing. We have a community full of doctors and nurses and CNAs and home healthcare aides that have the experience to these things that don't have it written out for them to do it without charging somebody $13, $14 an hour when they already get Medicare. They can get it for half the cost or free. Mm-hmm. So if we know about these things, it's more helpful to the people that we love and the people in our communities and things of that nature. So it's important. Get a little vote.
Even business owners, like, we keep opening businesses. It's gonna get to a point. They know there are systems in place that limit what you do and how you do it. So if I can't operate in Tallahassee, then I may have to shut my business down or move. And there are people politicians who can become elected that can put statutes in place that can prevent me from operating. So it's a system. So it's important that we vote even when it's even if it's just on that smaller level and not the larger level. So those are my 2 cents.
It's a good 2 cents. That it's important. I don't know how much to stress it. I mean, I don't have a big issue with people who feel that their ways about what they feel, but I just want to know who you hurt and think about who you when you do something like that. That's all.
Don't be talking trash if you do.
Oh, now they've lifted and changed how convicted felons vote too. Yeah. They've dropped the you can't where your charges and your past fees cannot hinder you from actually going to register to vote. So like there's no excuse anymore. Like all y'all that was like so happy when they said convicted felons can vote. Now you actually can take yourself on up there and go do it. Half of the reason why the votes less is because of convicted felons not being able to vote. Now we have the opportunity for you all to vote. So take it serious.
Her and my mom and a couple of other people, they actually went door to door telling people about the whole thing with the felons and everything. I remember them going door to door, either calling people on the phone, explaining to them why they should vote for that. And so look, if you one of those felons, this your opportunity to change some things for yourself and your family. So go vote.
Go vote. Go vote. So that's our 2 cents on voting, y'all. Now we're gonna ask a few of our interview questions because we do have a person on our panel today that we're interviewing. So, Queen, what you got for us?
Give us a bit of history on how you got started on this journey.
Okay. Well,
hold up. She goes right into it. Okay. She don't have to think about it. Just go.
Let me say hey again. Thank you all for joining us on our live. So, I actually love telling my story. It's not, it didn't start off as bright and shiny, but my mom was a crack addict. My mom is the mother of 9 children. And so she was a crack addict, and I have memories when task force would bust into our house, where we were removed from her custody several times. She eventually ended up going to prison. We went into foster care, 9 kids. Actually 8. She had my youngest sister while she was in prison.
Okay.
So we went into foster care a little bit. Shortly after going into foster care, we were placed with family. So while in the system, I was sexually abused for years, not for years, as a little girl from like 5 to 12. So I had so many questions. I had so many emotions. I had so much hurt. And I was able to get to a place of healing. As an adult, I give thanks to the church that Emmanuel Deliverance Church of God. That's the church that I grew up in. And they had a youth ministry. I wish youth ministries were as lovely as they were when I was coming up. But we had a youth ministry, and it was because of the work that those people that put into that youth ministry, I was able to be sustained. Um, and I wasn't at a place of healing yet, but I was at a place where I could function, I could live, I could cope. And as I got older, around the age of 18, I did not tell my story until I was 18 years old. I remember the day. Um, and the person that molested me was actually a sheriff officer. So over the years, so I was all messed up. I had evil feelings, toward my mom. Now I can appreciate who she is as a black woman. Just having an understanding of the crack epidemic, having an understanding of like what her challenges and battles was, what support systems mean, and so. But when I first told my story at 18, and I cried. It's hard. I don't cry often, so if y'all catch me crying, it's something serious. And it's just because my tolerance for pain is high because of what I've been through as a child. So not saying that I don't feel, but to get to tears. But them goddamn teenagers, they make me cry. So I don't know. But what? So anyway, so at 18, I first told my story, and it was like a burden was relieved off. Now, as a child, I always knew I wanted to be a helper. I couldn't find any. I remember feeling like I didn't have any talent. But feeling, I wanted to help, and then telling my story, I felt better. So then, I was 18. I didn't tell it often, but then every time I told it, and so initially when I went to school, I was looking at physical therapy, and somewhere along the way, I was like, I want to know why my mom thought and behaved like she did, why it was my uncle, why he behaved how he did with
You just had questions.
yes, and so
wanted to understand what what
yes,
they were going through,
the
why they were
study
doing
of
what they were
right,
doing.
right. And so that's what led me into psychology and mental health and being that advocate and that facilitator of healing. So becoming a mother, having that urge to protect, my daughters, uh, and my sons.
Right.
So so all of that just kind of fueled my passion. I remember at 12, um, a prophet told me I would have healing hands, and I was thinking, woman, this is not what I would do.
You better believe the real prophet.
This is not what I would do.
You better believe.
Not realizing that,
it could be other aspects.
And so, I truly believe that this is my calling. This is my passion. I love it.
That's powerful.
Yeah, it helps. It saves lives, and I think that a lot of people think that because so much time goes by, it's still not prevalent. But it is, because that's until you speak on it and want to do something about it, you can never heal from
it. And telling my story was a piece of it. I had to also process through a lot of the trauma that I had experienced. So experiencing sexual abuse at a young age, that carried into my relationships, that carried into my marriage, that carried into fear, like my fear and where I would let my children go, what I would let them do. So I really processed all of that. I was still walking with a lot of hurt. So I encourage processing of trauma, counseling. That thing would have killed me.
That's enough to choke you up on a regular basis and make your whole life from it. So thank you. I really
because we do suppress stuff, put it in the back of our minds, and then you don't realize it could be some of the little small stuff that just triggers that. You be like, like what? That's messed up. Messed up behind this. So I thank you for telling us. I went through some of that stuff, but I thank you for telling the story. That's powerful.
So that's how you got to where you at.
You really are. So what the prophet spoke was dead on.
Mm-hmm.
You have to. Sometimes we don't believe when people say certain stuff to us spiritually because we just be like, I hear you, but I
That's
don't
not
hear
even
you.
me.
That ain't me. But you look, let them. It don't happen right then.
Right.
But as years pass by,
Mm-hmm.
because
Yeah.
I was sitting at cosmetology school when I first started, and a lady said to me, "Oh, you ain't gonna be doing this right now. You're gonna be taking care of people." I looked at her. I was like, "Oh, okay." But she wasn't wrong because that's what I do. I still do hair, but also I'm an independent CNA as well. But I've been helping taking care of people since I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Grandma, because that's what she did. She opened her home up as a group home taking care of people. So I've been doing that. Like, when she said, I was like, no, I'm not. Like, okay, I ain't rolling my eyes while I'm up there doing her hair at school, but she
Not knowing.
not
Right.
knowing that, but also being a stylist, you helping people as well. You taking care of people as well. I always tell people when you are styling somebody's hair or you're doing somebody's makeup, anything that has to do with that aspect, you are in people's personal space. So I don't want to be sitting doing somebody's hair, speaking all type of stuff over them. I usually let people come sit my chair. I just ask you like these general questions. We gotta ask you, general, where you from? Like, how you doing? Like, man, and people just start pouring out their life to
Because it's a healing process anyway.
Right.
yeah, and everything that they didn't want to. Like, you ain't asking for it, but you just sit down and actually like listen. So yeah, what you doing is great. It's great. Cause look what you did for the empowerment with the whole colors and all of that. I never seen that. Was amazing. Why is this walk important for you?
So it's important because I care about I care about myself. I care about my children. I care about my family. I actually care about the people around me, my community. So just my love for my people, that motivates me because sometimes it's draining. Sometimes that's why I catch flights. That's why my passport gets stamped
Well, all right. Catch flight.
because it can be draining. But I create time for my own continued healing process and cleansing. But my love for us is what keeps me going. My children, I have three. My mom has 33.
Wow.
Wait, 30, maybe 34 right now. My mom has 34 grandchildren. My favorite auntie, I don't even know. I think she had like 13. So we have a large family. My grandmother has 9 children. So we have a large family. So what happens is, if I facilitate the process for creating healthy, safe spaces with one child or one adult, then that allows them to create that space. And what happens is, over time, it begins to create more spaces and more spaces. So then, by me helping a neighbor or somebody in my community, that creates healthy spaces for my children, for my family members, for the people that I love. So, and my children will get married. I want them to marry into healthy communities, right? Healthy families, healthy relationships. So, and how can we do that if nobody is promoting healthiness? No one. My mother didn't have the capabilities of teaching me what a healthy relationship is. So I had to bump my head the first time. So and so I had to learn through trials and tribulations. And so my children, they bump their heads a couple times, but it won't be as drastic as my head bump. Right. So providing mental health counseling just really allows us to process some of that trauma, and majority, all of as Black people, we've experienced trauma. It's in our DNA. So, but outside of that, all of us have experienced some type of trauma. Might not be as trauma is trauma.
Trauma is trauma.
So it just allows me to create those healthy relationships, or encourage others to have healthy relationships that impact everyone around them.
have your
That's incredible.
you say it's 9 of y'all. What about your other siblings? How have their life been
Due to your
due to
law.
your involvement and everything that you have going
Um, so I mean, I would have to give credit to my former crackhead mother. Like I say, she was a crackhead, but she had 9 children. She produced all 9 of us graduated from high school. She had 3 military sons. She has 3 college educated children. Um, she and the other my other he got a federal position, so everybody is in a good place. So I give that credit to my mom. I be trying to help. One of my sisters mad with me right now because I be talking too much trash. Maybe you could do that a little better. But that's life, and I got a twin brother. Sometimes he say I'm um like he appreciate what I say, but he think I be too harsh sometimes. It's like I don't have time to show stuff. This is what it is, and so we all are doing well. But I give that to my
Not
mom.
to take you away from that side, but during your walk with mental health, and you say this is how it is, but you know that a certain thing can affect how you speak to certain siblings based on not even siblings, just people, because certain ways that we possess the message and give the message, kind of deliverance is what pushes a person away. So, how would you help in a situation where he feels like you too hard? Instead of just saying, like, you handle them the way you would handle your.
I say
Or is
for
it a little
this
bit different?
situation, the problem is I interfere. I shouldn't have interfered. So, um, so if I see your child out doing something, I am that one that's like, see, where your mama at and you be doing
That's
that.
me. That's me.
So, that's just who I am. If you see my child, stay out of line. Check them, then call me and let me know. And so and I say that and I stand on that. And so now I've had a couple times where somebody just didn't like the fact that I intervened. I'm sorry, that's just who I am.
Are you the
So
oldest?
I'm the oldest girl. I have an older brother, and he's 10 years older. So I'm
that's a big
right. So I'm the oldest that we grew up with. So yes, I talk too much. I run my mouth. I speak, and maybe I shouldn't be speaking. That's who I am. But I do believe, and hold me accountable.
Yep.
If I mess up, I want you to hold me accountable because I'm going to hold you accountable. And so not everybody vibes with that, but in order for us to get to a better place, we have to hold ourselves accountable and hold those around us accountable, especially if you share space with me.
I was just gonna say, like, I feel like that's an honorable way to handle things because you don't want to be um, handling your clients and people in this help them to this aspect, and then the people that you have in your everyday circle not to that aspect, because then it's like you crucifying those people and not because if you're not being honest with them, you're not helping them.
Right.
So I firmly believe that. I think that's awesome.
I like that. That's good. That's good. So, what has been your biggest success story?
Oh my
If
goodness.
you don't mind.
I mean, just and maybe my within myself, just being able to be here, being able to push through. I take pride in the fact my oldest niece graduated from high school, and she was able to graduate. And so this is my idea of breaking generational curses. She was able to graduate without any sexual abuse um happening, being perpetrated against her. And so it's like, oh man, we have girls, and even my daughters, we have girls have not been exposed to what it is, the trauma that I had to experience. So for me, that is a big blessing. And that's family though. That's everybody doing their part. That's me sharing my story. That's my brother being a good dad. my sister-in-law being a good mom. That's everybody just playing roles and implementing standards that
and helping to
prevent
break those
things like
curses.
that.
Because and you're right about that, because like a lot of times we get so caught up in what's going on in the family too, we're not trying to repair situations so this don't happen again. Um, and that's cultural curses as well as just generational curses. So while we're gonna get back to Sean and get back to ask her a few more questions, we're gonna
questions she asked without even
answer the
I know
already
that.
that's gonna be kind of repetitive. But I I love black people, y'all. I love black people. I love skin. It's such a wonderful skin to walk in, to be in, and I'm pretty sure a white person loves their skin, Indian person loves their skin, a Hispanic person loves their skin. Everybody is supposed to love the skin they're in. So when you cater to your skin or to the people who look like you in general, as a whole, do you feel that people look at you as being
That's your question for me. Because Blue Lotus Counseling and Holistic Wellness does provide culturally specific and appropriate services.
All right. You get like you.
Alrighty then.
To black and brown individuals, I could care less about the next person. If I find 10, if I go to a local office right now and I see 10 black boys getting services, 9 times out of 10, 8 of them have a white male counselor. That's a problem.
Yeah.
That is a problem.
That's
So,
a huge problem.
yeah, if the fact that my scalp dry right now. I went to Walmart the other day to find a specific shampoo. It was the middle of the night. Of course, they didn't have it. It's 40 shampoos, but they don't have one that I need. That's the problem.
What side of town you go?
Right. So catering, I have preference.
Because everybody else does.
So I have preference because I am pro-black. That doesn't necessarily mean I'm anti anything else, but I am pro-black. So no, being pro-black or pro-choice or pro anything does not mean that you're racist.
And I bring this up because there's a young lady who came out with some products, and went into the Target stores, and so some people went onto the attack of her saying that because she's catering to the needs of specifically black people, that's racist. Now, one thing that I've hated about other races, specifically how white people handle themselves, they're conditioned to play the victim in everything. Anytime we're for doing something for us or trying to place emphasis on my hair don't work the same way as a white person.
Sure don't.
You understand what I'm saying? So the things that I need for my hair that takes 3 hours to get situated are not gonna be the same things that she needs, that Becky or Vanessa needs. So why would we just automatically just say that a person not catering to us is racist?
That's privilege. When you're used to everything being centered around you, then you come to expect just that, everything to be centered around you. So when that company went a different route, they centered things around that family, that woman, the creator, the owner's personal needs. So that was a part of that. And I read the article where she talked about that her message was sent through her people in a dream. So the fact that she's catering to people that behave like her, look like her, and have hair like her, skin like hers, I commend her because we don't do that enough.
We don't. We care too much about what other people think.
What's wrong?
We do. And since we're on topic of catering to black people and dealing with the things that black people have to go through on a regular basis because I'm so I wanted to bring up the point of black folks being a trending topic. I never really looked at it this way, but I do see that a lot of the cultural aspects of black people
Are
trending, but only a trending topic with other people of other races consider it appropriate to do. But when we're doing it as a race ourselves, it's a negative. So what do you like? And I want your opinion on that, Queen. What do you think about? And this is nothing new, but what do you think about our part in playing into the trending cultural things that are going on?
Okay. So first, education is important. So first we need to know where we came from and where we started. So when we look historically at who the scholars were, who the mathematicians were, who the astrologists were, you talking about black people. When you talking about doctors and scientists, you talking about black people, melanated people. Right. So that's number one, understanding who and where we came from. And then number two, understanding how everything that we had was taken. It was ripped away from those of us that have taken. But and even for taken from Africa. But and those who remain, you talking about monuments, you talking about uh things being destroyed, history trying to be covered up. So the history of these great people trying to be eliminated. So, and over the years, it has happened. So that is that's nothing new at all. Since the beginning, we're talking about since colonizers have come upon our people, our hardworking people, our skilled people, they've been taking everything that we've manifested, things, taking our ways, taking everything and want to utilize it and then claim it as their own. So, black culture trending, appropriation, that has been going on for years. And now, because I think what happens now is we just see it. And like, oh my, how about passed out? Yes, you can see it on social media with media period. I saw, I saw, it was bamboo earrings and cornrows. Oh, I don't know who that was. I don't know that people like that. Yeah. And
Kardashian, I know she did it one time.
It was in a magazine, but they presented it as it was something new. But y'all let us go somewhere with some cornrows and them big old bamboo earrings, and then we be engaged. So then it's like I was like, what? They presented it as it had a different name.
They called it something different. They don't call them cornrows when the white people do them. They call them something else.
Everybody call them women braids from Beyonce.
No, it wasn't
the lemonade ones. I seen it because I remember when Kim Kardashian did it. She called them a different type of braid because she didn't want to. No. What did she call that thing? She did that because it might have been the Baudier.
That's who it was.
Might have been the Baudier.
I think she did it in the 70s. She did it with these.
And they said that she was bringing it back. Kim Kardashian was bringing it back.
Anyways, and it goes even not just fashion and trends. You talk about y'all know they got the black market with these organs, and they want melanated people. They've been doing research on us for years. Our body responds different.
Yeah.
So we are a token.
We are the crown.
Yes, we are the crown. You are the crown. So I don't know what to say. Just be clear in who you are. And understand the we are geniuses. Like the way we create, the way we manifest, the way we produce.
Different shades we produce.
Even if it's been copied, you gotta know that it's real deep. It's deeper than
Right.
rap because it's nobody not just want to like just
Can't
walk around
manufacture
here and do this. And we're obviously a trending topic because not just a trending topic. We've obviously always been trendsetters.
That's it.
To the fact that now you got every race wanting to have asses like us, cheeks like us, lips like us. They can fill up
everything.
everything, like even down to 09 man. You know, I'm just saying that we deal with a lot of things that people want to ridicule us about while we doing it, but when it's okay when they
Especially the black woman.
Right. And then, and even, y'all be starting stuff. But,
Go ahead.
not only, and you talk about the black man, but then, also lock their doors when the black man passed by, or
and don't speak up and very silent when that black man going through issues.
So,
but you want this man so bad. You don't want the problems that come along and the problems that are associated with that black man, but you want that black man.
So yeah, that's a whole nother story. That's a whole nother world.
Yes, it is, my dad. You know. But before we close out the show, I just want you to tell us and tell our listeners, our viewers, a little bit more about your mental health walk and what you provide.
Okay. So, as I stated earlier, I do provide culturally specific and appropriate services for Black people. And when culturally specific, what do you mean by that? It's important that we understand the piece that culture plays in the services that we receive in our daily walk. So, I'm gonna actually give a perfect example. Denaya was sick the other day, and I haven't shared this with anybody yet. Denaya was sick the other day. She missed like she missed 4 days of school, 3 or 4 days of school. She was weak. She passed out twice. One time at the house, and the second time when we were actually in the emergency room. And so I took her, they tested her for the flu, they tested her for mono, they tested her for strep throat, no infection. She had a fever of 100.2. So yeah, she was sick, dehydrated, and she had been taking ibuprofen. So Naya is the child that you have to, because my family has a history of drug abuse. So my children do not like to take pills. So I had to make her take ibuprofen. She take an hour to dissolve it in water. Like, girl. Anyways, I took her. The doctor was at first he seemed like he was trying to help, but then he became really dismissive. And so came back. They were saying that she tested positive for benzoids. Benzoids is a hard drug like Xanax or something. So I'm like, okay. So she passed out. So I really can't ask her. So, but I don't know who I can ask. I can ask Divine. I can ask her whole crew. Well, what the hell your sister doing? And so then, Divine, she was in trouble. When Divine in trouble, she'll tell. Oh, really? Oh, Naya. When Divine in trouble, she'll tell. Oh,
Divine.
So, Divine was like, "Mommy, that girl ain't doing nothing." So I was like, "Okay." I thought so. I knew that as a mother. The next day, Department of Children and Families came to my house.
Wow.
So yeah.
The doctors and the people.
Yeah, they called. But while I was there, I know if y'all tell me Divine cut your ass out, I did that.
You know your kid.
You know your kid.
You know your kid.
Right. If you say you saw Naya kissing the little boy,
she did.
That's my daughter. She did. But so I Googled ibuprofen. No, I Googled benzo. I don't know what I Googled, but come to find out, in urine test, ibuprofen was false positive for benzoate. Oh, okay, that is.
So the doctor, you mean to him the doctor ain't know that?
So they go to Google like we do. But anyway, the doctor got offended that um the doctor got offended that I said, if I'm gonna act the donkey, I need you to do a blood test because I need to confirm because if she does, if this is an issue, then we need to get to the bottom of this. So he got offended for that, and it ended up coming back negative for. And she tested negative for marijuana and negative for alcohol. That's the thing. Now I had that thing, my little wine bottle be a little light. Had she tested positive for alcohol, okay, yeah. But anyway, so Department of Children and Families came out the next day, and it was like, and the lady asked me, why didn't you get upset or concerned about your daughter testing positive? And so then it's like, first off, how I present my feelings is none of anybody's business. I could have been upset and I could have maintained my composure. Or you don't know
how
what
I'm gonna do in front of y'all anyway.
Right. You don't even know what's going on. So she could have been, if she was using drugs, could something have happened to prompt her to use drugs or whatever? So my response to what the doctor said, you can't. In what world does that make sense for you to use that against me? So I just appreciate having the know-how and the wherewithal to deal with these people because I was able to, put her in her direct her to the blood test that said negative, and even I actually filed the official complaint at the doctor's office. And why is this important? Because we all deal with something that could have sent anybody else over the edge. I'm a businesswoman. I don't need DCF coming into my house, especially. And I want to hurt one of these teenagers and not have it. So.
And I'm keeping myself shielded from all that. And you think I'm gonna be okay?
Right. So just it's important that we understand that cultural piece.
When you're dealing with certain people.
Right. And we might not respond a certain way, or our children might not do this or do that, but that doesn't speak against us. And so it's important that we have our children are crying, they're hurting, including mine. I did a post recently about Kamari being bullied. And so we gotta find out these people are snatching our children's spirits with work. So we need to be checking in with our children. We need to see where they are, all ages. If they've experienced trauma, we need to make sure they have somebody that they can talk to. I do this divine and they love me, but they also have outsiders who they could go to because it's important that they have good mental health. But anyways, y'all, I'm gonna go ahead and tell the people where they can find me. If you're dealing with anxiety, depression, you've experienced sexual trauma, grief, any type of thing that has put you in a place where you're unable to cope, you're unable to function, you can find me. I got 2 things going on. For the my birthday is May 2nd. I'm a Taurus, so I'm starting my countdown. But for the month of May, for the month of May, Blue Lotus will be offering. I'll be turning 40. I'll be offering counseling sessions for $40 the entire month of May. If there's no reason why anybody that feels like they need a session cannot book an individual session for $40 in the month of May. And also, if you're a leader, if you're a pastor, if you're an organizer, and you have a group of 10 individuals and more, and you're interested in a free group session, Blue Lotus, we became nonprofit at the beginning of the year. We have 30. Well, we had 30. I'm not sure how many we have left. We have 30 slots where we receive funds for us to have a group session. So I encourage you. You could check me out at Blue Lotus Counseling and Holistic www.bluelotushw.com and find information. You could contact me on my Facebook, Blue Lotus Counseling and Holistic Wellness, and Instagram, Blue Lotus Counseling and Holistic Wellness. Once the 30 slots are taken, that will end. But those we receive funding to provide those 30 group sessions. So if you know of anybody, spread the word. And again, they need to look and speak and sound like us. Thank you.
Blue Lotus, y'all. Blue Lotus.
Listen,
Check her
y'all,
out.
that's some. Listen, that's really dope. We gonna we'll make sure we put this on the episode information because anybody who doesn't listen to us live will have the opportunity to learn about this on radio.com. Shelby's World, episode 19.
Okay.
On the March 7th. Look at me. See, I'm messing up
4th,
already. March 4th. Wednesday, March 4th. We're going to have the information available for y'all. Groups consist of more than 2 people, y'all. Is it more than one?
I said
or more than 2?
wait,
Oh,
10.
10. Group of 10.
10
or
or
more.
more.
See? I said 10 or more people, y'all.
Right.
Right.
10 or more people. So we're going to make sure that gets handled. We're going to make sure Sean get all 30 of those slots filled up because we need to be taking care of our minds, our bodies, our souls, our spirits, and our mental health. So if none of one more thing before we close out the show.
Okay.
March 7th, we are going live podcast for Freedom Train Network, and we're gonna have Enigma Step with the Enigma Step Hour. We're gonna have Patrick Irvin with Lessons from the Screen. We're gonna have Joseph Ward, Patrick Irvin again with Freedom Train Radio or Freedom Train Network. I'm sorry, and then we're gonna have myself and Queen Candace with Shelby's World, and we are looking forward to this wonderful day.
Hold on, one time for the host. Who hosting it?
Oh, I forget her name, but it's
TT
TT Talk.
Talk.
TT Talk. I forget her real name, but I know
Adrian, baby.
There we go, Adrian Bates. Adrian Bates will be hosting it. We got a couple of wonderful artists who are going to perform. We're going to have some giveaways. We're going to have some free food. Y'all have a great time to like network, enjoy each other. And again, if you missed your live feed, we got another one coming up soon. We'll keep y'all posted. Thank you all for tuning in to Shelby's World. Thank you again.
Thank you
For this wonderful lady coming on, giving all her jewels and dropping all that knowledge to us. Thank you to my wonderful co-host. We will see y'all next Wednesday.
Bye. That was good.